Brody, Jenny, and I, Kelly, we're on a Bigfoot expedition near the Mount Hood area because the plentiful Bigfoot sighting reports in this area. We're near a town called Rhododendron. We're investigating 2 Bigfoot sightings near the town. We're in the woods out behind the town. I just don't think Bigfoot lives down in town, so I must have come down off the mountain. So we're gonna hike into the mountains, look around, and then there's several Bigfoot sightings north and south of here. So just one of the many spots that we're gonna take a look around and see if we can find Bigfoot or evidence of the creature in or around this area. And we're kind of on the foothills of the volcano of Mount Hood that is well known for the Bigfoot sightings. It's one of the few ski resorts where they have found Bigfoot tracks and people have claimed to actually see the creature. Supposed to be some type of a canyon back in here somewhere that we're gonna see if we can make it to today.
It's like it's been made, like, looks like a garden. Flowers and ferns.
Jenny's up there saying this looks like a garden. It's real.
These are super pretty to me. I think it's cool that they have pink and purple on the same flower.
Oh, they do.
Pretty.
Fresh prints,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, something slid right there.
Something went up there.
I'm just gonna walk to the top of this and see what's back in there. Something's been tearing into this log. Wonder if it's the same thing that had the slippage right there. Yep, badgers, bears, all different types of animals will tear into these logs, get termites, grubs, ants, and we suspect Bigfoot would probably do the same thing.
There is a river that runs through here because we drove over it.
Sounds like we might end up to that river today.
It might be a stream that hooks up to the river that we drove over. It's coming. Yeah.
Cool, simple.
Everything's blooming. You used to live in Oregon. Does the flowers bloom year round, Brody?
I wonder. Oh,
Skid mark.
that's a skid mark.
Wonder if it's the same thing that dug into the log.
Got another one right here.
Huh. I want to show you my footprint next to this one, you guys.
It came right through here. Ready for more.
Just a disturbed ground.
Huh, I wonder what's going on. Another place that disturbed the ground. Okay, we need to find a safe place to cross. We're going up this way a little ways before we make that decision, Jen.
I know, I'm just looking.
I didn't want you to cross when we were taking off this way. Jenny does her own stunts. Trying to find an animal trail to use. Currently bushwhacking it. We're following the footprint disturbances in the moss from where we saw the tore up log. Just wasn't ever able to find anything that would tell us definitely what made those footprints. It's a pretty good animal trail.
Somebody held on to the tree right here. So all the moss is gone. But I can reach it. So, you know, guess that would be comfortable for a tall dude.
Sounds like something's creeping.
That's the direction those footprints were going.
Let's go ahead. I'll catch up to you guys in a minute.
Sounds a lot like something really smaller.
Jenny's gonna hide while we head up. See if she can catch it. If it doesn't see her, stay behind. I know, she's brave. A lot of giant clover in this forest. Everything's bigger in the Pacific Northwest. Bigfoot. Some of the largest on average Bigfoot sighting reports are from Pacific Northwest.
I'm gonna say nothing's been down this trail for a while because I just got a face full of cobwebs every so often.
Ah. We need to find a spot and stop and wait for Jenny.
Yeah, it's gonna be at this log right here.
Okay.
Oh, you got some deer.
I just heard something run off. I heard it run, but I couldn't see it. You see deer?
I think there's might be deer.
Something's been here. Yeah, I heard something run off that way. I wonder if Jenny's seen anything hanging back like that. Here she comes. It's one of the tactics that we use once in a while. Start hearing something parallel on us, one of us will hide, and the other ones will move up ahead. See if we can flush it out, not, you know, it not knowing it's being watched. Did you see anything when you hung back there?
No.
Did you hear anything?
Yeah, some stick snapping over here.
Okay, so the same direction we heard something. We just found what may be deer or elk footprints right here, and I heard something running off up that way.
Yeah, it was pretty light-footed. There's some snaps.
How about your Bigfoot stealthy and light-footed when it wants to be? I think when it starts stomping around, it's just trying to intimidate. Those giant padded feet, I'm sure it can be just as quiet as a cougar if it wants to be. What'd you find?
I just saw this and was wondering what that was.
That looks like a large footprint. I see toes up there at the front.
It just looks too big.
I want to measure it.
You know what I mean?
We hold the camera right here, Jenny. I got the tape out. This fern's covering where it stepped, but the toe section's right up here during the base. It really smashed things down, and this is, you can see where it disturbed the ground right here. And it comes all the way back to the hill back here, but let me put it right up. I'm showing 20 inches, well 19. About 19 inches in length, and then up at, well, let's do the hill since I'm closest to that. The hill is about 6.5 inches wide, and the toe section, hard to get to up there, it really drove its foot in right here at the, let's see, it'd probably be easier if I measure it this way. Up at the toes, a little over 8 inches wide. And I can see the toes shoving in up here, Brody.
Huh.
Put the camera down closer.
Yeah. Hand me the camera and I'll show the viewers. You can see where the toes shoved in there. The toes are shoving in. It's like it drove its foot forward right here as it walked that direction into the thick growth. Crazy, 19 inches. Probably a little longer than 19 inches. And look, I mean, see how that fern is? And it looks like it's just stepped forward with its left foot and drove it forward, because the big toe looks like it's on the right hand side, which would make it its left foot.
Yeah, here's another one. Possibly.
Yeah, that does look like another spot that it sat. Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing toes up here, and back here the hill and the rest of the foot. It's this clover's bounced back, and I'll smash down some of this clover right there. So that means it's probably a few days old.
You see a better one?
It's had a chance to bounce back.
I can't.
I see the impression that Jenny's pointing at. There's more. Look, it just walked through the thick growth.
It just went up.
Yeah, I see another foot pad up here, you guys. It stepped right here. That one's not showing up as well as the other, but you can tell where it's smashed and heading off that way. Look, it must have stepped right through and pushed through this branch, because it knocked all the moss off of it. See how there's moss up to this point? I'm gonna see if I can see any hair captured on this, because it obviously pushed its way through this. I'm just not seeing any hair. It has stormed almost every day. It snowed here yesterday. All right, Brody's seeing if we can pick up its tracks again. Look at the thick stuff. I mean, really thick undergrowth. It's really hard to find footprints in this stuff, but we've been tracking something. Maybe more than one. The stuff that we've seen in the moss over where the log was tore up, that one had smaller than 20 inch, 19 inch footprints. That one was more like 16, 17 inches. Yeah, it looks like it could have very well smashed that down. It's just, it's not as definitive as the rest. I'm hearing some of the leaves spring back that we've already stepped on. It's like this forest recovers really fast to being trampled on. I'm hearing behind us leaves and branches springing back up.
How good can you see me through the trees from there? Pretty good?
Because I know where you're at, yeah, but you blend in really well.
That's only what, 50 feet?
Maybe 30. Yeah, you held still right there and we didn't know you were there. We could probably pass you up. You're pretty well camouflaged. I don't think this trail is met up with that one trail that we were on yesterday.
Maybe if we would have went down that side trail, it would have.
Jenny saw moss that had been knocked off of this tree, so she wants to see what went
Not
through
the
and knocked
tree.
it off.
All the moss is gone from the ground. Probably back up right here. It's just a deer trail.
Okay. Well, that's Bigfoot food. Jenny was pointing out how something steps over this log a lot. You can see where the moss has been torn off. And then I don't know if the camera picks it up, but there's a very faint animal trail that heads off in the direction of that other fallen over log, and you can see where they go over the point that they go over that log too. And the ground's disturbed from game, probably deer or elk. Another animal trail that I'm walking on now.
There's a game trail right there.
Where does it go in?
I don't
This
know.
little spot right here.
Yeah, there's just so many.
There's something that just barely puts
Yeah.
something right there.
Just barely.
See that? Look at this.
Yeah.
Just barely.
Look at
sticks.
the
Yeah.
toes. See that?
I wonder if that's our 19-inch.
See that heel?
It may be what
Look-
we've been hearing.
Look
All.
at the toes.
Well, this
Yeah.
is all.
See
That's all smashed down. This
See
is
that?
all new.
We're getting the
You
tape
got
out
your-
for you guys.
Those are toes.
Tape.
Those are toes.
See the back of the heel right there? You
Yep.
see that?
Okay,
Here.
so that's only about 20 feet from the other trail.
This is. Well, this
No, the big toe.
this looks like 15.
Yeah, that's different.
Well, we saw a smaller one back there when we first found the log. And we know that they travel in pairs or small groups.
By almost 7.
7 wide?
Yeah.
By, let's see the length again. I want to.
Yep, that's right there on that toe.
It was like 15.
15, it could be 15 and a half. Yeah, I see where the hill circles around right back. Just a little past the
Right
15-inch mark.
Go, that over there kind of looks like a nice smushy place. See if it's,
If it's been laying here.
yeah. I don't know.
It looks to me like there's one that's hanging out back here that has 15-inch length, and the other one has 19.
Or maybe 18. 'Cause that one
It,
slid in the mud.
yeah, it shoved its toes in pretty good. It was huge.
I think that.
You know, this hole might be nice to lay in. You know, elevate your head, put your hip down in the hole.
What's this? Why is that just shoved in the ground like that?
I know, and it's been snapped at the
Look.
top.
Oh.
Look.
Is it its wood knocking?
I don't know, but
I couldn't do that.
look.
Oh my heck, it didn't grow there. It was shoved into the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah, it
Right where
was.
we found the Bigfoot track, the really nice one, is only like 10 feet from this. that got shoved in the ground here.
You know, we found something like this yesterday.
You know, you always wonder, you know, what are they wood knocking with?
Don't you stepped on it.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to be quicker than that. I was sitting here filming this.
But this is cool though, by itself.
There's another, you can see. Right here.
Are those toes?
Yes.
Or is it its palm and fingers?
Oh, it might be a hand.
I'm seeing a hand there. We may very well see its hand. Look, it may have sat its hand there when it shoved that into the ground. Its left hand here, because that does look like a left hand shape.
Pull that outlet, it goes in there pretty deep.
Did you see how deep it went in with the camera?
I'll bet you that's its wood knocker. And look, that end looks like it's actually been used to wood knock with.
What's this? No.
I don't know, but that's heavy.
You know they're not wood knocking with their frickin' knuckles.
You'd have to weigh a bunch to stuff that in there. Okay, keep going through there. Look over there. That's where it's going.
That track was pretty fresh right there.
Yeah, that was from this morning.
I almost want to do a mouth pop, but I think I'll wait until they do it first.
It's just so springy that you really can't.
Looks like it could have been laying right here too. Did you guys hear the whoop?
Yeah, that way.
I thought I heard it to our left.
I heard it that way.
Maybe you heard one that way and I heard the other one this way.
Keep going in the direction we're going because obviously it's not liking it.
That may have been a warning to each other. This is definitely an animal trail, and it leads right up to a log that it's been tearing into.
Why is that bark missing all the way around it like that? See that?
Did you hear that? That was cool. I don't know how to label that. I've never heard a vocalization like that. Sounded like it was coming from a chest and a throat or whatever.
Back there. That's where I heard it.
Gravelly.
Yeah.
Real thick and gravelly, almost like rocks graveling together.
Okay, I see something in the forest that has a dome head looking shape. I need to get to where the camera can focus on it though. What the hell is it? I see something back here.
Right here. That something stepped on this fern right here.
Right next to the snap-off?
Yeah.
You see that snap-off behind Jenny over there? It's an old one, so if it's Bigfoot, it means it probably comes through here a lot, because we just found a fresh footprint. Where's the...
Well, something just has stepped on the fern. There's not a footprint.
Smushed the fern right there.
Just stuff is smushed.
Okay, that is not a deer or an elk, or you see hoof impressions around it.
Brody keeps hearing hoops, hoops over there.
And we heard vocalizations that way too.
The farther we go in this direction, the more noise gets made over there.
It's like it's warning one that's over that way.
I'm not sure what it is, but Brody's standing there to listen to the noise.
I've heard vocalizations on this side and where you're pointing.
But I'm going to keep going this way to see if it happens more. Oh, I'm just trying to see where it's more disturbed. See how that green fern is all smashed down?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep.
And all of this is all smashed down, even the sticks. See how they're all bent and snapped?
Looks like something large laid down here.
It just looked like
large and long.
Right here.
I mean, that really gives you cover. You're in a divot.
Well, the trail comes up right through there.
The animal trail.
Right there. And then right here, everything.
Yeah, it looks like a large, long body laid down right here.
All of these sticks are snapped and bent, and everything is pressed in right here.
I don't see evidence of deer or elk walking up here and laying down either.
No, but there's these weird, I'm going to step on it, round holes right here. Right here. And it looks like
something digging in with their fingers.
Something grabbed.
Maybe it grabbed to lift itself up after laying down. I can imagine it using its index finger to dig down in there after a grub that it can smell there.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. But that looks like a hand grip right there.
Mm-hmm.
Something's been right here. And all of this is smashed right here.
Did you hear the vocalizations over there anymore, Brody? We were heading this way because we discovered the more we head this way, the more it was vocalizing over there.
There's this kind of a strange smell that just came through here, and I'm not really sure what that is.
Neat looking.
Jenny just found a mushroom with yellow gills.
Like I don't know.
Whenever we see mushrooms, we wonder if they're edible by human.
Really
if so, or if not, can animals still eat them?
Yeah.
like that, and then threw it on those ferns.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Bigfoot sighting reports where people are out looking for mushrooms and they run into Bigfoot. Matter of fact, there was a mushroom hunter that saw Bigfoot eating mushrooms, so that may in fact be true. The top of the mountain or hill is not very far from where we're at.
Yeah, we can keep going. Just shoved in there. See that? It was
The
just,
stick was just shoved into the
it
ground.
was just like that. It's just shoved in there like that.
Well, it's amazing how fast they'll sometimes respond to some type of a breakage or a snap, like they run around with the stick in their hand.
Okay. Like that one's in the ground. Pull it out.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, another stick shoved into the ground.
Okay. See how hard it is for you.
And it looks like it would be a decent wood knocking club. I always wonder if it's a tool where they can like smash a squirrel or a rabbit for food and then use it once in a while to knock on a tree for communication. That's a quick way to dispatch one for food.
This is a really good spot to stand. If you're peeping.
Yeah, and look, your wood knot stick is shoved into the ground behind you and you're in an elevated position to watch the valley below.
Let me get out of the
So
way.
if you got a
You can put the camera there.
Sasquatch standing right here on the lookout, might be able to see or hear anything coming up the mountain and be able to, and then it's right between two trees to give a wood knock warning. And I just want to show you the size of these two trees. I mean, they're huge. I mean, great cover for a huge creature that's trying to stay hidden.
That one too. It's stuck in the ground as well.
I've already pulled it out like 6 inches. It's in about a foot.
Wow, why would they be just running around shoving them into the ground like that?
I don't know, I've never seen that behavior.
This hillside right under these ferns, something dug in there, and it was obvious not to make shelter. It's not deep enough to be a badger den or anything, so in my opinion something dug right in there to get some type of food.
Yeah, it's all fresh.
I'll bet you a bear, a badger, or a Bigfoot has a good enough nose that they can smell what they're after, and so they're not wasting their time digging for nothing. Oh my gosh! Did you guys hear that? Something heavy just thumped behind us.
I did hear a thump.
Not saying anything, something threw a rock at us or anything, just something just hit the ground right near us. What's going on? Something dig here?
I'm just really not sure what that is.
What the heck? Is that a footprint? It just sunk in freaking.
Maybe when he tried to move that log.
Well, if
He sunk in.
well, it looks like it's 15 inches in length. Let's see, I'll put my foot right by the hill. My shoe's 12 inches. So you can see.
Do you want to measure it?
No, we've already measured a couple of prints with the tape measure. People can look at my foot for comparison. And if they don't like it, they can talk to Derek Wright. He's our complaint department. What'd you hear?
Just this really big, deep impact.
Okay, yeah, I wanted you to describe it because that's what I heard too. I had a really big thump.
That's the loudest I've heard so far.
We were getting that a lot in Mount St. Helens in an active spot. We're only about like 50 miles south of Mount St. Helens, by the way.
You follow him. I'll be there in a minute.
Oh, Jenny's gonna hide and see if we can flush it out. Whenever we get activity, one of us stays behind. She's pretty brave, so she always volunteers. Something laid right here. Not saying it was Bigfoot that laid down right here, but an animal, good sized animal, laid there for a while. Did you hear anything while you were waiting back there?
No. Just got stickers in my finger. That's about it.
Oh. Well, this whole entire expedition, the most compelling footprint was the one that was almost 20 inches long that Brody found up under that fern. And then since then, we also found one that was over 15 inches that was really nice. Looks like it smacked the log right there, didn't it?
That's interesting though. Looks like some kind of impressions and maybe a fist or something like that. Do you see this?
Yeah, I see the fist impression.
Let me have you come down here so you can see it better, but it looks like...
I zoomed clear in on it.
Like if you were gonna squat down here and like, you can like.
Yeah, if you were gonna use all fours and be looking off that direction.
Yeah, that's deep. Something might have squatted or kneeled or used their hand to push themselves up and stand where they are kneeling right here.
It's a great lookout point. Look, you can see in this entire canyon off to the right.
Oh, look how steep it is.
And then you can see the mountainside off to your left. It's a great vantage point. And look, it looks like something smacked the log with the stick. See how the moss is gone right there? And it's right near a good vantage point. It looks like it's smack. I don't know what's up with the wood knocking phenomenon, but everybody that chases or researches the creature knows that they do wood knocks. They also crack rocks together. Probably whatever's more convenient at the time.
Like one foot here.
Oh yeah.
And 1 foot there.
That's a big one.
See that and that?
Mm-hmm. Well,
so check this out. So 1 foot there and 1 foot there.
One here, one there. Came over the top of here. Here, hold this.
Here, put a tape measure. So it stepped twice. One time right there. And we're just lucky enough it stepped in
It looks like,
a place soft enough to accept a footprint.
I mean, if it put its toes in here, it's 19.
Yeah, I see that deep hill. Point out the hill for everybody.
Right
The
there.
hill's really deep.
This is the foot.
Yep, that looks like the one we've been finding that leaves the 19-inch footprints up here. We're up towards the top now. We've seen its footprint down at the bottom. Now at the top, it also stepped back here. It's harder to see that one, but I can see where it stepped.
Yeah. Because it pushed down on this, so it didn't leave much of a hill. And those are...
All the foliage protected the ground.
It might have been like standing here, peeking around this tree, then just stood there around the other side of the tree.
It was probably hiding behind this tree, checking down below. Yeah, you can see another place where it had stepped.
It just looks like it was straddling the tree. Well, I couldn't do that, but
I see its toes shoved up. See in front of my foot. Here, let me get the camera oriented better.
I've already pulled it up for you.
Up in front of my foot, the toes are all shoved up there. And look how close it like hugs these trees. You know, it's using the trees as cover to scout down into the valley. They're very careful. That's why you rarely see them. It'll sit and hug and mess around this tree, and then it'll, you know, sprint off to the next tree or next cover and hide. And
let's say it was both of its. If it was standing here and there, you've got like a 5 foot spread of feet.
yeah, and it just probably hopped from there and hopped to there casually.
Or was standing there. They say they have like a 5-6 foot walk strain, right?
Well, something with 19-inch long footprints, I'll bet you it's over 8 feet tall.
Well, you can see the direction of the foot like this.
They're both like that.
They're both faced the same direction, and it has the tree right there. Crazy.
You went like that and then just went.
Crazy.
Hopped over there.
All right, we're gonna keep looking for these creatures.
And that's soft dirt.
Okay, well, I've never seen that.
No.
I've never seen a footprint on one side of the tree and another side of the tree.
Oriented like it's looking
Around a tree.
peeking back and forth.
Never.
It's neat. We're walking on this spine. It's kind of a spine. You got a valley type canyon on this side. Then you got this spine that we're finding all this Bigfoot activity on. And then you got a valley and a canyon on this side. I mean, if you think about it, these ridge walkers, look at how much territory they can watch from one spot and listen to. Yeah, it's a rocky spine. It's nothing but solid rock underneath us. Ooh, and there's some water seepage coming out of the ground through here too. What, is there going to be a reliable water source on the top? Maybe, we're going to find out. I doubt the camera's doing justice. You know, these deep ravine canyons on either side of the spine that we're on. But trying to show you guys. I mean, you could stay up here and you could spot animals and predators on either side if you were patient and had really good sensories, real good vision, smell, and hearing. And then of course, here's the other side. And the spine isn't very wide that separates them both. Definitely feel like a ridge walker up here. Just walking right here, I'm hearing thumping noises. Maybe it was at this point that we heard the thumping. Of course, much louder thump than I just made. Something much heavier and stronger than me. We're down there on the very top of this mountain. Oh, wow. Yeah, you guys that sent us your Bigfoot sighting reports, I sure wish you guys would see Bigfoot in a lot easier places to get to. I just heard a hoop off to our right.
Good ways there.
Oh my goodness.
These are the only ones Mom gets to see.
Whoa. Not a very good day if you fall off of this. This is a great lookout. This kind of reminds me of the place where Tom Standing filmed that Bigfoot standing up on that rock ledge above him. That place he agreed to take Finding Bigfoot and then said no at the last minute. Canada. It was like the British Columbia area, somewhere around there. Well, that really narrows it down. Actually, nobody knows where it's at. He changed his mind and wouldn't take anybody there.
Look.
Yeah, something climbed right there.
Look there and there.
Yep.
Why would you do that when you can just go like this? Why would you go up that way?
Because it's your natural environment and that's just as easy as any way for you. Huh. Wonder if it was climbing up to this.
It's interesting.
What a crazy spot we just found. It is like the perfect lookout if you're trying to hide from civilization and keep away from people. This had to have been some type of a big lava flow at one point in time. It's kind of fun getting into places that could be the home of Bigfoot. I mean, with all the sightings in this area, I mean, did we just hike into the home of Bigfoot?
Look at that Song Island up here.
I know! We've been finding some frickin' King Kong sized footprints up here too. Oh, I'm zooming up there. I thought I saw movement, something up there. Tree peeking at us. What is up there? It's gone now. I'm gonna zoom up there in case it peeks around again. I swear I saw something dark between these trees up here. I'm freehanding it, sorry about. I just can't hike around with the tripod. It's just not feasible for me. It was in there somewhere. Alright, we need to go and investigate, see if we can find some more tracks. I'll keep an eye out that way for us though.
Which crows are gonna fit?
What?
Crows are having to fit up there.
I just heard a crack over that way. That didn't sound like an intentional wood knock. It sounded like something stepping on a twig. Even when Bigfoot's trying to be stealthy, you can't happen to step on a twig once in a while. Crazy. I think we found the Bigfoot's ridge that lives in the area. I keep seeing shapes up there that I really need to zoom in on and
It's got toes.
oh, another vantage point. You can see it from clear back
I know,
here.
Brody just found that one.
Wow. Hopefully the camera's picking it up because that is a sweet looking footprint.
It's not real big. What, possibly 16, 15, 16?
Yeah, well, we've been finding two. One that's close to 20 and one that's over 15. This is the smaller one. Makes me wonder if the one that's around 15 is the female and the other one's
About
the
7.
19's the male. Maybe they're
A couple.
yeah. Maybe they're BFFs.
Buddies.
They're snuggle bunnies.
Little.
Everybody needs something to snuggle with, right? Even if it smells like a skunk.
Big bunnies.
Wow, I am delighted. This has been an amazing day. We were talking about this is probably the best hike that we've been on up here as far as just hearing vocalizations and finding footprints. You know, you find one or two footprints and you start calling them suspect. But now we've found well over a dozen footprints, 2 different sizes. I'm not calling it suspect anymore. I really think we're finding Bigfoot activity in here, and the vocalizations that go along with that, the warning vocalizations, that gravelly grunt thing earlier.
You can see a pattern of it. Whatever it is likes to look back at outlook points, vantage points.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a lot of great vantage points on this this lava flow spine.
Really
I don't know what you would call this.
There's another big one right there.
Yeah, there's these big old towering rocks.
Something goes off in that direction and it doesn't look pleasant to go there.
No, that doesn't look like something a person would like to take.
Yeah.
Rather steep if you fall too. Oh.
Interesting. That.
I think a log or a rock used to be there, maybe?
Something moved.
Log or
Something removed a deadfall from there.
Yeah.
There was a.
Used to
There was
go
a
in
big.
there.
Now why? Why did something remove a log that was laying here? Why? Maybe it needed a knocking tool.
Maybe it was in its way. I don't know, but something big and heavy was laying all there and it's been moved.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Actually got ripped out of the earth right there.
Maybe it just plants little.
Look at these
Log.
giant stone pinnacles that we keep finding on this hike along this spine.
Yeah, that's neat. I want to go up. Yeah. Come out and go do it. Is there anything up there? Here's another one.
Footprint?
No, here's another one.
Oh, another stick shoved into the ground. You know, we do a lot of hiking, people, and we don't see sticks shoved in the ground all over the trails and everything. So this is very unusual. It's not like we're out here once in a while. I mean, what we're pointing out is very unusual.
I like this stick. It's helped me out a lot.
Is that one of those Bigfoot sticks you found?
No.
One of the ones shoved into the ground?
No, it's a personal stick. Somebody carved it.
You've got to film this up here.
You heard a wood knock?
Yeah,
What direction?
above us. Once you get on a flat spot, look back.
Oh my heck.
Pretty cool.
I just felt a thump.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel it too?
Yeah, it's me.
No, that's not what I felt.
Oh, sorry.
I actually felt the ground. Wow. And then there's more of these.
You got a cave.
You found a cave?
Just like not a real deep cave, just a little,
Shelter, shelter.
just a little place to get in out of the rain, maybe.
Yeah. I just heard movement behind us. Wow, look at these cliffs around us. You know, it's pretty rough scaling to the top of those. But if you can, you have that ability, it's a great place to evade people. Look at some of these crazy rock formations we're finding up here. I keep smelling something like the body odor or something of another animal up here. Keep panning around to try and give you guys an idea of the crazy place that we have found ourselves at, searching for Bigfoot near a Bigfoot sighting hotspot.
That's so cool.
I just heard a vocalization. I heard a scream up behind us. Now the scream sounded like it could very well be a human-like scream, but we haven't seen any sign of anybody else back here besides us. Down where we started our hike, we were the only vehicle down there. So pretty confident that we're back in this area by ourselves today. Oh, there's the vocalization again. This one was to the right. Did you hear it, Brody? Yeah, there's some vocalizations going on. Telling Brody this rock formation in front of him, if it was up to me to name it, I would name it shark fin. It just reminds me of that shape. Or even an orca. Brody's up there scouting ahead. Wood knock so loud that way that Jenny says, I think it's a gun, but now I'm not sure. We have been hearing wood knocks every now and then up here. Not to mention vocalizations, and you guys saw the footprints that we have measured. This area does not disappoint. Did you hear that? That sounded more like a mouth pop. That sounded like a really loud mouth pop. In the same direction that I heard what I thought was a knock. Sounded like this. Or actually sounded like it was popping its lips. I wonder if something's down there watching us.
film and you guys walked down in front of me, it went, ooh, ooh. But I can't do it because my voice doesn't go that deep. And then some cracks and a little pop down there. Then I started filming down in there. Then I turned it off, started walking towards you guys again, and I went and made another crack noise, so I turned it on, and then I didn't hear anything else.
Yeah, well, we heard what sounded like a really loud wood knock, and then you was like, is that a gunshot? And I'm like, no, I think it's a real loud wood knock. And then about 30 seconds later, that wood knock again, only it sounded more like a big old mouth pop, like it took its hand and popped its mouth like gorillas and chimpanzees do, making those popping noises. That's what it reminded me of. Weird. Right, yeah, we're getting some activity that is highly Bigfoot suspective. I just heard something crunching through the foliage up in front of Brody. I flipped the camera on and just heard it, didn't see any movement. Just trying to keep the camera faced to where I heard it, in case the camera can catch something I don't see.
Okay, so Kelly and Brody are a little ahead of me as I stayed up here to film them hike a little bit, and off to my left was the weirdest noise. It sounded like something was grunting at, oh. Well, that was interesting too. That sounded like a little pop, but that's not what I heard to make me turn the camera on. It sounded like a grunt, a whoop, whoop. I can't do it because my voice doesn't go that deep, but it was down in there, down in here somewhere. I can't see anything with my eyes though. I just heard it. I turned the camera off and there was another loud crack. Of course the wind is blowing, so I don't know what I heard. I'm gonna leave the camera on for now. Oh, I heard some more wood clacking. Oh. I don't know if you can hear that. It's definitely not on this side. I looked, I'm not hearing nothing down there. But I definitely am hearing something down there. I got to catch up.
I hope you enjoyed our Bigfoot investigation in the foothills of the beautiful Mount Hood area, Bigfoot sighting hotspot rhododendron, Welch's. People have saw Bigfoot crossing the road in these places. The school down there in the valley, there's even been kids that have saw the Bigfoot walking to school from time to time. And then, of course, the road crossing ones. And then the dirt road down by this castle canyon. Somebody sent in a Bigfoot sighting report that wanted to remain anonymous that saw it from the porch of their little cabin. We started searching around their cabin area. This is the most recent sighting reported to us, and we found this cool canyon near there called Castle Canyon. So we come back in looking around. I don't think Bigfoot lives down in the little town, so he's coming off the volcano, and we found footprints, got vocalizations. Exciting. Keep watching. We're going to keep on squatching.